So we are SAP shop. The entire sales and distribution, material management, all of that is completely built out of SAP, even part of building the promotions as well, which of course gets integrated with my point of sale. But point of sale is something that's handled by the group. That's the ERP bit. Then one of the key other enterprise systems that comes along is CRM. So, and we have leveraged Salesforce for that. We're typically focused on building a complete customer 360 degree, starting from lead management. That is effectively the sales part, fairly integrated solution to order to customer support. So, and being a 360 degree, as I'm saying, this is a complete end-to-end system managing customer data. Third, I would say we have a very robust analytics system, and we leverage a solution named as Manthan. We do it at a group level itself. We also use a fairly robust replenishment solution because inventory management plays key when it comes down to furniture retail. All our goods, merchandise they were equally there at our brick and mortar stores and in our online store, which is hometown.in. From a merchandise perspective, it definitely, there was no question of, choosing between, or rather, running around for that. We had the foundation there. We had built in a huge one single platform, which had an omni-channel data. And this helped in putting together a couple of features. For example, we have a policy called same time return. Features like this are possible to go live in very short duration, only when your backend systems are fairly prepared, wherein you are able to track the entire delivery fitment to the forward process. Of course, delivery fitment is the forward process to the return process, all with a click of a button. If all these transactions flow into one platform, or if you have a 360 degree view, that helps the support teams in actually putting together such models in a very short time. And that's what we were able to do in the last 12 to 15 months. Is we put together a set of self-service releases, being tracking orders right from warehouse till fitment. Customers can track that on their own, and doesn't really matter whether the customer has purchased it from the store or the customer has purchased it from the online site, even from our marketplace site. These foundational blocks were all there. What helped during COVID was the number of transactions, the number of interests in terms of online purchases went up, which in a normal scenario is typically focused. It gets divided between a brick and mortar retailer and a marketplace and your monobrand site. But in COVID scenario, even the marketplaces were impacted. So when we were putting together the platform, the CRM solution, we were fairly clear that the platform ought to cater to transactions when the journey begins from web, and the journey might end at the store too. And there should be one single journey. Example being, if any of the customer, they visit our hometown.in and they show interest in any of our products, our store staffs will be able to follow that through till closure, the same transaction. So this is the way we put together the entire Phygital journey: transportation solutions, delivery, logistics solutions with respect to delivery, with respect to fitment, and with respect to multiple other processes connected to fitment. I mean, all of that are related and all linked, and ultimately it is connected to the same transaction that started either from the web or from the store, and all of them are tracked through the same thread in one single platform. A team that looks at the online part of it, which is actually hometown.in. So we have a fairly strong in-house development team which manages hometown.in. So that's one part of it. And then there are other business applications or enterprise applications. Plain, simple habits of doing daily stand-up meetings, weekly stand-up meetings. And it doesn't change whether you're in office or whether you're away from office during these times. This connect with the entire team is very crucial. They get a complete viewpoint in terms of what is required to be done from a business and IT standpoint, and how the responsibility gets divided. Group synergy perspective, we handle it in multiple ways. One way is we have, at a senior level, we have connect. We would want to have an architecture alignment. So both from a group perspective, and if we have some important releases and important case studies that have worked well with us, we request for for putting together, aligning it with the group. There are project-driven synergies. So there are major projects that are going on in the group. And that's when you bring synergy with the various senior leaders and their reporting team. And then there are ad hoc synergies that you bring in, which is with respect to, it can be with respect to support, it can be with respect to security, any of those wherein, from a group standpoint, the principles are the same. Okay, so you don't look at it as Praxis separately from the rest of the group. And no formal document with respect to business strategy. I mean, typically at a senior management level, you would know where the organization is aligned. So it helps to have an IT strategy at the beginning of the year. I would say the focus should be on getting one or maximum two key projects right for business for the entire year. I mean, you can drive multiple projects. That's the reason we are here. But focus on a key deliverable, and hence one major initiative on which the entire IT and business team is focused, both from metrics perspective as well as deliverable perspective. And make sure you make it a success. Getting feedback from the ground level staffs. And that's one of the key parameters that many times we miss, because we are all hurrying towards a deadline. And you don't want to get lost in data or lost in feedback. But it's very important to get that feedback and be able to sift through the feedback and figure out which are the ones which are important and is going to make a huge change, huge impact on business at a ground level and rolled up at an organization level. Collaborate closely with business. And how do you do that? You basically do that by, after each of these major releases, it is our responsibility to actually analyze the data coming out of it and say that this is what I see from a business impact. I mean, this is what we see in terms of sales, if it is a sales level solution. That's what would get business interested in leveraging your solution. When I said we create IT strategies and we have all the initiatives lined up, and we also know what are the key initiatives. Now, with respect to these key initiatives, we should have the success measures ready at the beginning. And there should be no ambiguity amongst business or IT, or amongst business or IT in measuring that. If you talk of a CRM solution, when you're putting together an end-to-end platform, the way I was explaining earlier, what would have been the key metrics? Would be percentage conversion. If you're putting together an endless aisle solution, what would be the metrics? It would be the percentage of incremental growth coming out from stores by putting together an endless aisle. From a people perspective, collaborate with business closely, collaborate with the key stakeholders. And this can be, one is of course from a senior management perspective, people who are business sponsors who are driving the show, because that's key to ensure change management. Two is at a regional level who will be using the system, or at a local level who will be using the system, have their A team involved actually driving the change. From a tech standpoint, what's important is to be very clear, what do I want to achieve? And hence select the right technology. From a transactional standpoint, not only analytics standpoint, you should have one single platform. From a change management standpoint, there is no two ways about involving business. And that goes back to the same thought I had from people perspective. Put together the operational KPIs. These should be business KPIs. Ensure that we track these KPIs from the system on a regular basis, weekly, monthly basis, and get help from business in these cases in terms of whether it is gamification, whether it is rewards, whatever it be, to drive change management. Mobility is given now. I mean, there is no two ways about it. A CRM solution, the lead management, the entire leads are captured on tablets. And that's the level of mobility that we're talking about. Fitters and technicians who actually go ahead and deliver, right from delivery to taking customer feedback, all of that. From a cloud perspective, post-COVID, I would say focus on security. Advanced analytics. Let's not get caught up with buzzwords. Data mining still plays a key role. Leverage that, because we have very, very strong tools now, Python, R, which are very strong in terms of using these algorithms and coming up with insightful information. Of course, from a hygiene perspective, you cannot ignore data warehouse, and that keeps business and IT, because that's simple and that's easy for business to grasp. So those are given, and those have become fairly stable. I would still harp on data mining. Yeah? That's the way I would put it, and use whatever technology. I mean, as I said, Python, R works for us.
For more updates from CXO TV, please like and subscribe to our channel.